Hello everybody, it's Aaron here once more again, and today we're going to be doing another figure review, as we're going to be doing the unboxing and review of another of the Joytoy Warhammer 40k figures this time around. It's the Space Wolves from Warhammer 40k, as you can see right here. This actually is the Space Wolves Intercessor figure line with the bolter rifle instead. I think my Salamander last time had the bolter shotgun. I think I remember last time I saw that happen right next to me. As right here is basically the Space Wolves, everything he comes with. You see in the box right there with all the little stuff. You see the little nice detail work in the pose right there. You can see right there if the camera decides to ever focus. Camera, focus on the thing. You can do this. There you go. Seriously, I don't know why something the camera decides not to focus on anything at all. I can see right there all the detail work and stuff and all the weaponry he carries. But without further ado, folks, let's dive right in with the unboxing of the figure. And we are back in now time to unbox the figure. And like before when I did the Salamanders and the Adeptus Ortis, they have these plastic wrappings to keep it protected, which is always good. Always like to have a little bit of protection on your figures, which is always pretty great. Also, like I mentioned before, I think I did this when I was doing my Salamanders review. The little plastic wrapping has the Joytoy's logo imprinted onto it. You can see a little bit right there. You can see right there. Logo's right there imprinted to it, so people know. It's like, hey, this is the brand. Little plastic wrapping, it doesn't take too long. Boom, that's gone. Now time to unbox the figure, and since technically it's already in plastic wrapping, kind of doesn't need any what's called tape on it. So with those, like I mentioned before, open the top of the box right here and just slide the figure out. Woo. And we can see right there the Space Wolf in all his glory, which is not gonna lie, it's pretty nice. Right here, I'll do like the comparison with everybody else in a little bit. Before we even take it out of the box, you see right there, full glory with his armor, coloring. He actually has the sheath right there for his blade right there, bolstered onto it. You got the bolter rifle right there, bolter pistol right there, chain sword, extra accessories right there, which is always great, which is what you want with these figures. And now, without further ado, time to unbox. I mean, we technically did the unbox, but now time to double unbox. And hopefully nothing falls off. Something fell off. Oh, okay. The thing that fell off was the stand right there. That's pretty nice. Now, time to go with the accessories, folks. And we are back in with all the accessories. First things first, let's do a full overview of the figure itself, which, not gonna lie, I really do love Joytoy when it comes to their detail work on these figures, because they really, really are phenomenal right here. Let's try to get him in the front line. Come on, camera decides. Oh, there we go. You can see the detail coloring and all this pretty good. All this pretty nice. Like legit, you can see the detail works that it really did on this is really phenomenal. Like legit, I know what's it called, a lot of other figures nowadays are kind of being like a little bit not really good or half-assed on a lot of their designs. Right here, Joytoy is actually doing well with the coloring on the figures. All the detail work for this is pretty nice right there. You can see right there the little, I forget what this is called, like one of those Lucky Charms right there. Looking pretty nice detail work right there. If the camera decides to ever... It's always the camera never want to do. There we go. You can see right there the detail work looking fine. On the holsters, on the belt, everything looking pretty nice. Really, that's what I really do love about these figures. The markings on the shoulder pads are always pretty great. The coloring on the crest, on the Imperial Crescent on here, pretty great. The Space Wolf logo, really nice. It's what we like to see right here. I mean, the face sculpting for this is pretty great. You can see right there. I really do love this. This is what you really want with your figures. Overall, really nice figure. I really do love how it's designed. I know most of the Space Marines, the Primaries, are going to basically all look the same, with the only differences basically being the color and some of the equipment they carry. But overall, it's still pretty great regardless. So it's kind of the same thing when it comes to like a lot of your kind of like the other troopers, kind of like with my clone troopers. Yeah, they're all the same ones, but all their stuff they come with is a little bit different. Now going with the accessories, as we already seen before, we have a bunch of different manipulators. Overall, he has 6 in total. He has 2 closed fist hands, so for punching. He's got 2 trigger hands, one already on the figure, one's off it right now. Then he has 2 regular, I guess you would call, no, they're not closed fist hands, but it's like little holding hands, I guess, for holding the swords or weaponry, blades, a chain sword. Going from that, we have the little blade attachment, which is already originally on him too, so I will say this. He already had both of his equipment already attached onto him. Little holster right here, basically just blank holster, which you can replace with the one that has the weapon right there. So you can have to him, which I actually do like the way it's designed. You have the little blade holster right here, which is, not gonna lie, I'm really liking this a lot, because this right here, oh look, it can actually sheath the knife. You know how many other figures I have? And specifically, I'm actually going to go with McFarlane with some of their little designs for some of their Halo Spartans, specifically Meal. Doesn't have this on his blade, which is kind of something kind of made me mad for that one. But for the Space Marine right here, he actually does have this, which is always pretty great. And look at that, the detail work for that's pretty nice. The gold coloring is really spot on. This is what you look for, gold coloring on figures. A lot of times gold is really not good on some characters because it's kind of not done well. This actually right here is pretty done well. I do love the holster and the blade and the gunmetal or the metallic blade coloring really good right here. Let me try to get the camera back in focus. There we go. Really do like the detailed design on this. Really phenomenal right here. Going from there, we have bolter pistol like we've shown before. Really nice detail work right here. If we ever get the showings for it, I gotta really get something to like modify this. There we go. That's what we're looking for. At least the sculpting design. All of it's pretty good. The coloring is pretty great. It's what we want. Overall, barrels basically not one of those like fully plastic ones. You can actually see almost all the way to the end how like almost a real weapon looks like, which is what I really do like. Going from there, we have the bolter rifle, which not gonna lie, I do love the coloring. The design for it is pretty nice. Same thing with the rifle, with the bolter pistol. You can go all the way almost to the barrel into it. You can basically see almost towards the end. Overall, really nice. Really good design right here, and even the coloring for the Imperial skulls, pretty great. Going from there, we got the chainsaw, which I do always love the designs for the chainsaws, man. These things are really rad and phenomenal on the designs right here. Overall, pretty great. Love the coloring for this. I think they did really well on the painting and sculpting on these. Overall, Joytoy is really doing well. And also, here's the two different holster pistols, basically already unholstered and one holstered. So basically, if you do any poses of this, you could basically have one basically with the bolter pistol already out on one hand with the holster being empty, or you can have it already not empty. You can see right here with the parchment paper, really looking nice. Overall, pretty great. I actually do like this. Overall, accessory is pretty nice. Got a good amount of what we want. Different manipulator hands. Oh, and the backpack booster, the jetpack, which is what all Space Marines usually carry, just for flight modes and stuff. Overall, pretty nice. The detail work for this, again, is pretty great. Coloring is pretty good. I do love the thrusters, how they look. Overall, pretty great. And this attached on the back with two pegs, which is always pretty nice, what you want to see. Overall, detail for this, phenomenal sculpting, beautiful. Joytoys does it out of the park. Overall, accessories is pretty great. Got multiple rifles, blades, holsters, accessories. Overall, figure is phenomenal and great. It's what we want to see. On to articulation. And we're back in time to do articulation. Starting off with the head. It is on a ball joint, I will say this, so the head can spin around. No problem at all. It's actually a double ball joint. One going on the bottom, one going on the top right there, so it can do a little bit much more movement. This is what we want for bob and spinning, which is pretty great. So we can try to do at least as much adjustments to the head as possible if we're doing any poses or doing any pictures for it. Arms have on these ball joints. They can spin around, no problem at all. What's it called? Like I said before and previously on the Space Marines, on the Salamanders, the shoulder armor kind of sometimes limits its articulation a bit just because of the shoulder pauldrons. Limit a little bit, but overall it's not that bad. It's on a double ball joint, but again, because of the bulky armor, kind of can't go all the way as it should, but it does have the double ball joint. You can see right there. Hands on a regular ball joint, which you usually see for a lot of figures. Overall, not that bad. I still do like it. Overall, pretty great. Torso is has a interior ball joint. You can see right there. So it's basically able to spin around, no problem at all. And it's almost able to get, I guess if you want to call it ab joint, it will be more like a waist joint, I guess you would call it. Because, yeah, it's more like a waist joint more than an ab joint. Because ab joint would be more right here, which technically does have more waist or mid-waist torso joint. Overall, pretty great, not gonna lie. It could barely do splits. It's not that bad. These figures are technically not meant to do like those kind of splits and whatnot, but overall still not bad. Its legs able to go up, no problem at all. Go all the way to the back legs, but it's mostly going towards the side, which is pretty fine. Leg is able to bend all the way, which is actually not bad at all. It's actually pretty good. You can see right there, the bending right there for the legs, pretty nice. Overall pretty good. Oh no. Oh no, my Space Marine. Don't worry, we got it. Oh, that I might have gotten defective form, but you know what? Just like with model kits, I've saved it. That, I guess, something you just gotta look forward to. I mean, technically these are taking mass produced and cheap, but I guess we ended up finding something that happened. So this is something that you'll probably have to look forward to. Is the leg joint popping out right there? That is actually kind of bad, but it is on a peg joint right there, so technically you could just reattach it onto there, which is not bad. Okay, that's actually a good thing. So it's kind of like almost like a model kit. Like that right there on a regular figure would be very bad because then it falls off. That basically integral to the joint and basically loses the leg and whatnot. Not gonna be able to fix it. This right here actually did kind of I guess thought ahead of time by putting a peg piece right there. So basically, in case this falls off armor wise, you just reattach onto it, and I probably just put some glue on there, just fix it on there. Overall, it's actually a pretty thoughtful idea. Because I know a lot of figures, basically, if that piece falls off, then the entire leg falls off. So that's actually pretty good. And that basically, this piece right here just has a little peg piece right there. Just reattach it onto it. And I might just probably just put some glue on there or cement. And that should be put back all together. So that's actually not bad at all. For a moment there, I was worried, like, oh no, the leg's going to fall apart. But you know what? It's actually not, it's not going to fall apart. It's something that can be fixed real quick. And the leg, because of the armor, is kind of, it does have a ball joint, but what's it called? Once again, because of the armor, can't move all the way. This is as much movement you're going to get out of it. It does have like the front feet moving up and down, so it's not that bad at all. So you can do better poses. Overall, articulation is not that bad. It's not the greatest, but overall, it's still pretty good for a figure. There was a little hiccup accident with the knee basically falling off, but because it does have those peg things to reattach onto it, so it's not too bad of a thing. I thought it was going to be bad, but it's actually going to reattach overall. Articulation is not that bad at all. It's pretty good. Go with size comparisons with everything else I have. Going off with my other Space Marine from Joytoy, my Salamander, my first one I actually put on. These guys are around what's called the 5-inch mark, because that's their usually base right here. That's the size spread I usually get around them. Going from there, we have the rest of my 40k figures, my Adeptus and my Adeptus Gemini, which are a little bit shorter at like around 4.5, I think it was the last time when I mentioned them overall. A little bit more shorter than my regular Space Marines, but overall not too small. Overall, the detail for them was pretty great. This so far, for those who want to know, this is so far my collection for Joytoy figures. I'm still into the thing, collecting more. I'm actually going to be getting more of these. And I'm going to put them onto my new shelves because I'm getting new shelving for them. So probably whenever I get my new shelving, I get more of these guys. I'll probably do a little picture post of them on my shelf. Overall, size comparison not pretty great. They actually do, if you put them like against a lot of other figures, they actually do have some prominent presence on your shelvings. I will say that overall, pretty not bad at all. Going from them, over into some of these to the side. Okay, going from that, let's go with some more figures. Actually, go with some Halo figures. Last time when we did this, we did my McFarlane's Master Chief right here. It was, I think, around the same size, just a little bit bigger, at probably 5 and some quarters. I'm sorry, I don't have my measuring. I don't have my what's called measuring tape anymore. I had somebody borrow it, and I haven't had it since. Overall, pretty nice around standards right there, along with some of my other Halo figures. I have Cat right here. It's a little bit more bigger. It's a different measurements. I think McFarlane did with some of their Halo figures. Not gonna lie. Going from that, I do have my CQB Spartan over here, who I still have to fix leg-wise because he has like it's bad leg right there. Joint-wise, a little bit much more taller. So the Space Marine is going to be a little bit much more smaller than my Halo Spartans. I know, like, and lower-wise, they'll take the Space Marines be a little bit bigger, but hey, this Joytoy figures are a little bit much more smaller in scale-wise than some of the other ones. Going from these guys, we have, I guess I guess we're gonna put some of my what's called Mandalorians, since right now they're the other closest ones I have. You have the armor right here. We have Vizsla right there. We have Mando. And like I said before, a lot of these Mandalorians are basically the Black Series figures for those who want to know. And the Black Series figures are usually always around 6-inch figures. For the males, for the females, around the 5-inch mark, 5.5. Vizsla right here is a little bit much more taller since you want more bigger guys, bulky, just for size-wise. And going from them, okay, I lied, I did technically have clones. Oh, well, technically. Right here is one of my short troopers right here, which, not gonna lie, I do love the design of this guy. That's one of my favorite designs. Talking about clone troopers, I technically have my Phase 2 clone trooper right here with his minigun. Though the minigun is not from him. This is actually another minigun I took off from one of my other older Star Wars figures that I no longer have, sadly, but I decided to like put it on there. As and right here we have one of the First Order troopers right here. Overall, not bad in design. I really do like the sculpting for this. This guy sadly cannot stand for his life, which is there we go. We have him standing barely. And like I said before, Black Series figures are going to be always taller, always going to be around 6 inches. Space Marine's a little bit much more shorter because of that. But overall, still, you can still see him presence-wise, even though he's a little bit shorty guy. And we're back, folks, and was that our way? That is it for this review for my Spaceballs Intercessor figure from Joytoy Figures. Overall, pretty nice figure, I do say so myself. The sculpting, the painting, the articulation for it is pretty nice. The articulation could be a little bit more better. Some of the armor parts do kind of kind of block it just because of the bulkiness of it, but it's kind of fine. It still does a good amount range of movement and articulation is what you want for these figures. Kind of expect this for more bulky figures, but overall still pretty nice. The weapon accessory is pretty great. We got a good amount of weapons, especially for this figure. We got a bolter rifle, his knife, his the chain sword, bolter pistol, everything else pouch wise, and the extra accessory for the hands were pretty great. I do love the way this design wise sculpted and everything else, especially since it's Spaceballs. Spaceballs give a little bit more design for their wolfiness, if you know what I mean. Overall pretty good figure. I do recommend this if you do see this. I did get this on Amazon. This was when I got this. I think it was around 18 bucks when I got this. It might be back up to like around 20 or 22 bucks. You have to check it on there. And this technically is a 4 set with some other of the figures with Imperial Fist, Ultramarines, and damn, I'm forgetting these are Blood Ravens and the Blood Angels. I forget who. It's been a while. It's been a bit since I basically did the watch last time around. And there is a bunch more Warhammer Joytoy figures as well you can get. Also different design ones too, especially some of them a little bit more medieval. Especially for the Spaceballs, because I was actually going to get this one where it had like the shield on one hand. One of them had an axe. The other one had a mace, hammer. And I was going to get those. The one with sword right here that I wanted to get. And there were some more with the Ultramarines that had swords and stuff too that which I wanted to get. Which I will get, but that will be a little bit more later. And I'll probably do the reviews for those when I get around to getting them. But yeah, overall, pretty good figure. I do recommend if you do see this. And yeah, if you did like the video, folks, please consider dropping a like, share, subscribe. As always, we appreciate it, folks. And as always, have a nice day. This is I, Pern, saying out, and I'll see you guys on the next one.